is we have E3 coming up next week, and if you don't know what that is, I just don't know how to help you. It's pretty big. But
Is it? Do you know
it
what
is.
E3 stands for? What are the three E's, Brian?
Something Entertainment Expo.
Yeah.
Electronic,
I used to
perhaps?
follow E3, but I have no idea what's going on anymore as far as what the top games are going to be or anything like that.
Yeah, I think they've
Well,
started to lose some importance since PAX started coming up.
PAX is so
Yeah.
much better at this point
yeah.
as far as just entertainment value, I think.
Yeah, even though PAX is not geared as being the reveal con, I mean reveals happen there, but it's more of a convention for fans than for the entertainment industry. But it just does so much better, and from everyone I've heard has said that PAX is just more fun to go to.
Yeah.
I
Better
mean,
stuff
more
there.
of a fan
Even in the game
experience
industry,
there.
even game industry people say that they like PAX better. So
Yeah. So I mean, it just seems like PAX is more geared towards the fans, where E3 is more geared towards corporate. But they do have some pretty cool things coming out, and me and Brendan actually got a top 3 list of what we're looking forward to seeing this E3.
yeah, yeah. Um, am I
Yeah. Why
starting
don't
it
you,
off this time?
yeah. Would you want me to start it off? I can start it
I
off.
I don't like you, so
Oh, that's
yes.
nice.
No, I'll start it off.
Yeah.
Um, okay, this is going to be pretty broad, but all the untitled games that are going to be revealed,
What?
I saw the schedule today. More than half of the time slots right now are undisclosed titles from many different companies. Microsoft has like 3 different undisclosed titles. Nintendo has 2. Ubisoft has 1 or 2 undisclosed titles. EA has an undisclosed title. All these things, big reveals that they haven't even hinted at yet. More so, I mean, usually you expect that, but more so than usual, where it's more than half on the schedule for big reveals, for big showcases, are new IPs or just unknown titles.
So,
And,
so is that your top three
well,
unknown
that's
No,
titles?
that's my top. That's one of my
that's
top. But
that's number 3 on his
because I
list.
can't really
Even
say
though that
you're
was like
excited about
15
any one
things,
of
you're
them.
right. You're right, Ryan. That
I
was
mean,
like 15 things. You just said like there's
yeah,
like 5 or 10 unnamed titles. It's the
yeah,
top 3.
yeah. What is
I'm
that? What does that
excited
mean to
about
me?
the
I mean,
fact that
what?
there's going to be reveals. All right.
Okay, yeah, so you're looking forward to the ones that you don't expect.
Yeah. Well, I can't say any particular one that I'm excited for because I don't know what it is.
Gotcha.
The third best thing about E3 is the unknown. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Well, that's good. All right. Well, let's go with my number 3 then. And I'm looking forward to, now this isn't a big reveal or anything, but I'm just looking for more content and everything. It's the PlayStation Now service, which is supposed to be a PlayStation 4 streaming service where you can stream your PlayStation 3 games on. And I've been hearing rumors of like PlayStation 1 classics, PlayStation 2 classics coming out on this, and possibly an emulator somewhere in there. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Okay. My second spot is going to be I'm looking forward to seeing how actually specifically PlayStation, Sony attacks Xbox and Microsoft at this event. Because if you remember last E3 and the big reveal conferences and everything, and how things went after that, it was kind of hilarious and didn't look good for Microsoft. I'm kind of waiting to see what they have up their sleeve now. Now that the 2 new systems are out in the open, um, what can they do? I know that they got something cooked up their sleeves, and I know Microsoft's going to try and fight back, but we'll see how it goes. So.
Hmm. And they did have fun last year. I mean, Sony pretty much killed Xbox last year, so that was pretty cool. And that was when they were doing their big hardware releases, so that was even bigger time for them. So yeah, it
Yeah,
would be
exactly. That's what
interesting.
I'm saying. Like now the hardware's out, so I mean, what are they going to do? Maybe they'll just rub it in their face that the PS4 has sold so much better. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Ryan, are you a Xbox One or a PS4 person?
I have a couple Xbox Ones. I was gonna get the PS4, but I'm just not hyped about anything on it.
Is it the games that's driving you more towards the Xbox, or is it the
No, I'd say the games on Xbox. There's more games on PS4 actually. It's just that I committed to getting the Xbox One because at the time when it was coming out, I was heavy into Call of Duty,
Nah.
and I really, had to continue that legacy. And so I played that for however long, however many months, and then I got bored of it and realized they have nothing on the Xbox Live Store.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's how that happened.
How about Titanfall? That didn't hold you over?
Nah, so I got Titanfall. My girl enjoys it a lot, but I can't play it for hours and hours. I need a game I can play for at least 8 hours at a stretch, if need be.
Hey, if
And
something to
Wait,
sink your teeth
so
into.
at this point, would you say that it was worth getting an Xbox One, or do you regret that decision and think you maybe should have gone with PS4?
I think in my life I have two regrets. One of them was going to Target, and the second one was getting that Xbox One. You know,
Well, hey, it's not too late to change it though. So, but no, I understand the whole the Call of Duty thing. Like, I'm an Xbox 360 person, but I am going over to PS4 when I get a new system. So, that'll
Yeah, and
help.
that Xbox One was a bigger investment too. So man,
Yeah.
hit
yes,
hard.
But
yeah.
my number two for E3 is the Order 1866, and that is just again they revealed it last year, but I'm looking for details, gameplay, stuff like that. And the Order, if you don't know about it, is it's kind of like a modern day, and when I say modern day, I mean 1886 modern day version of the Knights of the Round. They're actually supposed to reprise that King Arthur legend, and this is the lasting group that is from there. And they pretty much they're fighting like werewolves and stuff, and they take this stuff called black water that makes them like live longer and stuff. And so I thought that was going to be an awesome game.
All right.
Cool.
And who doesn't like King Arthur games?
You.
Okay, you're right.
I'm a big fan of King Arthur games, but I know you hate them. So
I hate them. Hate them with a passion. Yeah, I don't know why I made them my number two. I hate them so much. But what's your number one, Vernon?
My number one is going to be actually, and this is going to be one that can get me to huge disappointment if they don't show anything significantly new here. But
Hold on, pause real quick. Pause real quick. Before you say your number one, I'm going to say my number one, Battlefront 3.
okay,
That's
that
your
was
number
not my
one,
number
wasn't it?
one.
Oh, I thought that was your number one. I was trying to get it in there before you did. Okay, go ahead. You finish your number one.
I mean, I know Battlefront 3 is coming out. I've been watching alpha demos of Battlefront 3 for the last like 4 years when they decided to not make the project for so long. So I've seen a lot about it, but what I want to see at E3 though is more from Project Morpheus.
Oh, okay.
Project Morpheus.
Yeah, because they showed it, previously already, but they only had 2 demo games to really show off. It was still in early stages.
Okay.
I want to see something more solid now. I want to see more demos. I want to see them really pushing that platform. If I don't see more from Project Morpheus, especially with Oculus coming right around the corner and the PS4 starting to hit its stride, I'm going to be disappointed because that's honestly. That might be the seller for me for the PS4.
Well, what is this game? No, I've never even heard of it. What's going on with
No,
that?
the Project Morpheus is PlayStation's equivalent to the Oculus Rift. It's a VR system is supposed to be very low latency, can hook up to the PlayStation. They revealed that you remember the failed a PlayStation Move from the PS3 review? And
The shiny ball with the
yeah,
the little wand you would wave around. Yeah.
and the new PlayStation controllers with the motion sensing, the light emission, are designed to be motion controls, but are designed to be controls as well for VR environments.
Okay.
Which the Project Morpheus is supposed to be one of those steps towards.
Okay.
Or maybe in the final step towards, because that's giving you that vision, the complete, VR experience, low latency.
Well,
it's the Oculus Rift for the PlayStation. That's
okay. But the thing is, the state of games is really bad when your top 3 did not have to contain one game. Your top 3 games you're waiting for in E3 contained one game.
Well, it was a bunch. It contained It contained like really 15 games, but they were the unknown ones that nobody's ever heard of. So
Well, that's true because if I was going to put in a game though,
Yeah.
to be honest, I didn't put this in because it's not even going to be just at E3. It's going to be everywhere, and I'm going to be playing it. It's called Smash Brothers Wii U. It's during
I think-
E3. They're going to be playing
I
it
think we can
at
wrap
Best
it up.
Buys
We can
everywhere.
wrap it up at this point. With Smash Brothers talk coming in. I mean, we can.
It's going to be great. I think
Smash
you'd like it
Brothers should
too.
be cool, but
Because as I know, Mr. Ryan Celsius over here, he dabbled in the competitive fighting game market, and I know that Smash Brothers doesn't usually get up there, but Nintendo's trying to hit hard the competitive market for the next Smash Brothers.
is it because it's only like 2-button combos at most? They don't really consider that a real fighting game.
Long story short, yes.
Okay, that's what I figured. I mean, I always have a great time playing it, but I can understand why they wouldn't. It's like putting like an NFL Street or something in there in like a Madden tournament. It's not the same.
Yeah. But they are hitting it a little bit hard. I mean, people know about the news by now, but they're going to split up the game so that there's what they call for fun mode, which is the one with all the random things happening, the different items, whatever, and for glory mode, as they call it, which is competitive play where you have basic boards that are essentially Final Destination, but now with a bunch of different skins. You're not going to have these random factors. You'll have no items. You can just go straight to it. They keep track of your wins and losses and other aspects of the game. And
That'd be cool. I mean, it's nice to spice some things up a little bit, just giving you different modes. But
Namco's making it. And Namco has made several other big fighter games. So
one specifically, which is Tekken.
The Soul Calibur. I mean, Tekken's the big one for competitive play, but Soul Calibur is another fighting game that they've done.
That's true.
And that was a fun weapons game, so that was cool. But and I already gave out my number one, but we'll just mention it because I thought you were about to say Battlefront, and so I tried to jump the gun, so I wasn't outdone.
Maybe if this was 2 years ago, that would be it, but I don't know.
Come on, last year at E3, they gave you like a 20-second little clip of AT-AT's foot stomping down, and it says Battlefront 3. I mean, that's new. This should be awesome. They're going to have some sort of gameplay, I'm sure.
I don't know. Well, I've seen several minutes of gameplay years ago when they decided they weren't going to make it. I was like, I don't know.
But an alpha build is not the same as like what they would show at a real conference. So
it is exactly the same. There's going to be no changes between the alpha build that was made 4 years ago,
you think
and
so?
the game that's going to be released. Called it.
You're calling it right now. This is the prediction. Right now, there will be no new news on that. So you're just really
It's all
like
gonna be
down
one
on all
level.
games.
Do we have time for my top three? I don't know.
Yeah, man. Please. We'd love to hear them.
Listen, I got a couple amazing games. Quantum Break. I don't know. Have you seen the trailers for Quantum Break?
No, is that
It's a time travel based game where you can stop time and do all sorts of stuff. They have really cool effects. Let me put my screen share on so you can at least get some images up there as opposed to my glowing blue silhouette or whatever it is, my Google Plus day. Here we go. Screen share in there, right? Quantum Break, beautiful game. I think this wasn't. I think they had like a little bit at the last E3, like very very alpha. But I think now they have 80, 90% of the game finished up, and every piece of it is beautiful.
So you get a good chunk of the gameplay in there.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what this is. This is one of the trailers.
Darn ads.
Yeah.
And now they get free advertisement on Words for My Face.
Exactly.
That's how they get you.
But yeah, the whole concept is you're using time and you're manipulating it and you're doing all sorts of stuff to that's your main power. So it's essentially going to be like what's the Infamous a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
But with a different dynamic and hopefully good mechanics and stuff like that. So I'm real excited to see that. Also, another one that I had
looks cool.
was the indie game that showed at PAX. I think it debuted at PAX. which was Evolve.
Yeah.
You familiar with
Where you can that's is that where you oh no we did look into that. I did see that. That was like my PAX East game of the thing. Remind me about that one.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory on that one.
Yeah. So it starts off with there's only two classes. There's a hunter and there's a the beast, the monster out there, right? And so
Mhm.
four people can play as the hunters. And they have varying classes amongst themselves, and then like one person plays as the beast. The beast can like run around, um, feed off of plants, animals, things like that, get his strength up, and the hunters go out and find the beast, and that's essentially how it works. And the mechanics of it look really good. They've
And
had some.
that's where all four members. I'm kind of remembering it. Where all four
Yeah.
members of the team has to take on a different role. Nobody can be the same class. You all have to kind of work together in
Yeah.
unison to take down the big monster.
And that's a game
Yeah.
that would have been perfect for the Wii U gamepad had they
I don't
decided
think
to do
anything
that.
would be perfect for the Wii U outside of
It
if
would.
it has
Look,
Mario in
you
front
have
of it.
one
It's probably
person
gonna
on
work
the
out, but
gamepad. The beast mode, the beast is on the gamepad, and you have the other four. Like if you played like together in the same room, anyway, because that's what it's designed for. You 5-player, one person has a different set of views on their own. 4 people are teamed up doing their own thing, split screen on your screen, and yeah, they're like, no, we don't like the Wii U. But,
Well, we've kind of gone over this. I don't know if many people like the Wii U, except for
I like
I
the
the
Wii
mean,
U.
person we're talking
I
to
like
that
the Wii U.
got it. I like the Wii U. But yeah, so yeah, no, Evolve. I definitely remember
Hyrule.
talking about that in one of our earlier shows. That's definitely going to be an interesting game. As far as multiplayer games, like they kind of did something like that. If you played Dead Space 2, they kind of had like a multiplayer where you could be the monsters or you could be the humans. And it didn't really work that well. So I'm hoping this one really does pull that off right.
oh yeah. I mean, I think that it does. Like looking at a lot of the gameplay and stuff like that, it looks really clean, looks really well done. The main problem when games try to do dynamics like that, where they use the enemy characters or the monsters
Hmm.
as sort of a playable thing, is they don't balance it right, and so
Yeah.
it becomes sort of pointless to play as one of the classes, right? So I think like games like Evolve are doing it right. One of the Alien versus Predator games did it right. But I think a lot of games they just fumble over it and always do it wrong.
Well, yeah, it's hard to yeah. I can see where the balance would be really hard to strike because these monsters are supposed to be crazy good, but then the humans like they have to be able to beat them somehow, and
Exactly.
it doesn't always work out so well. Oh wow, that monster's kind of ripping that dude apart right there.
Yeah, yeah,
So that definitely looks pretty cool.
yeah, and it really enforces like some strategy with how you design your hunter team too, because you all can't be the same class. There has to be a healer. There has to be
Mhm.
certain people in certain positions and things like that. So I think the game might have some depth to it, beyond the first 100 hours of gameplay. So I'm hyped about it.
Yeah, that does look cool. That does look cool.
Yeah.
And so, did you have a third?
Oh yeah, I think I went out of order. I think uh, Quantum Break is my number one, and
Hmm.
Evolve is my number two game.
Okay.
The other one I don't see on this list, but it's called Dying Light, and I think it'll be at E3, but I don't see it on this list here. But Dying Light is essentially I don't know if you played Dead Island, those
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
The first one was pretty bad. The second one was a little better, but Dying Light looks really good. Let me see if I can get at least a screenshot or something of it. Um, but it
Well,
looks
did
like
you?
it's done really, really well, and they took a lot of time into really fixing all the problems that Dead Island had.
Did you ever play State of Decay?
No, I saw a video, I saw a walkthrough, but I never
That
played it.
was it wasn't like a crazy great graphics or anything, but it was pretty enjoyable. It's kind of that whole Dead Island theme, running around from zombies trying to survive.
Okay. Hmm.
While
I
you're looking for
definitely
that,
definitely check it out.
Yeah.
I have a prediction though for one of those unannounced games that's going to come out.
Okay.
Um, Tecmo Koei has a title. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a Dynasty Warriors title.
You think they're going to come out with another one so close to Hyrule Warriors coming out?
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to be really interested on because they've obviously been working on Hyrule Warriors, but they I mean they released Extreme Legends, 8 Extreme Legends like a few months ago,
Hmm.
and they're always working on a few at a time because for every iteration there's like 5 games, so it's probably either going to be one of those extra iterations, or they might be announcing something else big because it's untitled. I'm going to guess it's a Dynasty Warriors one. Just especially
I
since
mean,
they're showing it at E3. Like if it was at a Japanese expo, they have some other lines that I would expect them to do more, but I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see. Maybe I'm just hoping it is because I want to see what they're going to follow up Hyrule Warriors with.
it's always interesting to see. But yeah, so yeah, E3 should be packed this year. Hopefully it'll be a good time, and it won't be just some stupid stand in lines and wait for nothing. Sometimes they just don't come out with anything on these. But if they do have a couple of those games that were shown, especially that last one, Dying Light looked pretty awesome. I wasn't really listening to Brendan right there. I was just watching the screen.
Yeah, that's probably the best choice.
So, but I think that's going to about do it for the show. So we got to thank you again, Ryan, for coming on with us. And again, check out his channels, Ryan Celsius and Ryan Celsius Music on YouTube. They're awesome.